Word of mouth versus social media to build your salon business, to build your clientele. What is the way? We've got some maybe old school people that are like, word of mouth is the way. I don't like what these kids are doing, social media. I don't get it. Technology.
These
blah, blah, blah.
darn kids.
You darn kids. And then you've got the other side of like, I don't want to talk to a single person. Text me. Don't call me. You know? When you built your business, you didn't have social media.
No.
So it was only through word of mouth or some other traditional ways.
Book.
Phone book?
Yep.
Did you actually? Oh my God, the phone book. That's right, Yellow Pages.
Yep.
Right? But today's a different story. Is there one that you lean towards more than the other?
Nowadays?
Yes.
It's one and the same for me.
It's one and the same. What do you mean?
Word of mouth is very important.
Yeah.
Because that's how you build your reputation. Hey, who does your nails? Or, I need a nail tech. Who do you think? Oh, well, Habib's great. You need to go to Habib. That's hard to beat recommendations from your friends. But there are times, right, that I recommend people that I've seen on social media.
Yeah.
I don't personally have went to them or anything, but I'd be like, oh, you need that done? I follow this person that's really amazing that does eyelashes or whatever, and check out. So it could be the same.
Yeah.
You got to have social media nowadays. Like everybody has it. That's your portfolio. That's where people are going to go. Even word of mouth. Hey, check out Habib. Cool. What's his IG?
Right.
So I could check out his work.
Right.
I want to see work before I go.
Right, of course. So, you mean I can't just do social media and say, don't tell anybody about this?
Some people are like that. I've seen some it's kind of aggressive, the big X and everything.
Oh, yeah,
don't
yeah,
call,
yeah.
don't text.
Don't
I don't
call.
answer my DMs. It's like, ooh, this is an exclusive club. That don't work.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I think people want to try to separate them because they're not familiar with one or the other. So,
Right.
like, for example, you might have like a younger person building their social media following, and tech is second nature because that's what they grew up with.
Yep.
So I don't care. You don't talk about me. I got social media. And then on the flip side, you might have somebody old school like our gen, right? I consider myself old school. The way that we came up.
Yep.
I guess that's old school.
Make a phone call.
Well, I don't need social media. I'm just going to do amazing nails and people will talk about it and refer me. But I don't think there's a separation. I don't think it's possible.
Well, I guess it is possible. But you're going to hurt yourself in the end.
Right.
You can do it, right?
It's going to take a lot longer.
So if you're right, I didn't have social media when I built my clientele because it didn't exist. But if it did, I would have 100% have done it.
Right.
Because why take twice as long when I can throw fuel on the fire and make it go faster?
Right.
Like, why not look at the different avenues? It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Free.
And it didn't exist back then. So what does that mean? It means that the word of mouth, like the calling somebody and telling somebody about something was maybe happening at a different volume than today, where it's like, check out this barber, text, boom, link, Instagram location,
Yeah.
right? Or Instagram handle,
Yeah.
where you don't have to call somebody and tell them about it. It's just boom, boom, boom. So, but when you were building your business, none of that existed. So everything was at a different speed.
A different time, different
time,
speed. You
yeah.
wanted to come look. You want to look at my nails. You had to come in and look through my photo book. I mean, it's just different times.
How wild.
But I have to tell you, Habib, I'm not gonna go to someone that I can't check out their work first.
Yeah.
Whether it's hair, eyelashes, even restaurants.
Right.
I'll look them up on IG to check out their food.
Dude, I was looking for baseball lessons for my son, private lessons. So I Googled it, right? And there's a couple places that came up, and I was like, I go on IG. I look up baseball training, LA. I mean, it was like, oh, I start following, and now I get updates, and I'm like, oh my God, there's one down the street here, there's one over here. It was just so much better, more efficient, more information. I can go through and see, what are they showing? What are they teaching?
Yep.
How are they instructing? You know, what's the vibe, the personality? What's the culture? Like, you can get all of that.
Yep.
You should get all of that from their Instagram
Yep.
page.
I like to check out the place. It's how I found my hairdresser, blonde specialists, because I looked at a lot of blonde specialists and I didn't care for their blonde. Like, it just wasn't the blonde I was looking for.
Right.
You know, there's so many different forms. Same with nails. There's a ton of nail techs around here, but you want to find someone that does the style that you like, that you
course.
vibe with. I like to be able to check out the salon first. You know, oh, it looks like a clean place. You know, where's the location? Oh, that's not that far. I mean, just all of it. You get a very good feel, and you may not like it, but that's what is happening nowadays.
Right. It is 100% what's happening. At the same time, we have maybe these very, very tech savvy nail techs coming up today, right? How many times are we saying to them, wear your work? You've got to wear your work. When you go out into the real world and you're wearing something that gets attention, that's that word of mouth thing where you're doing that personal,
Yep.
you know, and it's probably the interactions are certainly fewer, right? Because you can reach a lot more people at one time on social media. But when you interact with somebody one-on-one with the nails right there for them to see,
Yep.
the impact is massive. You
It's
can have
massive.
huge, right?
And I have to say, you know, you were kind of talking about, you know, because a lot of people say, I don't, have a phone for you to text me at or anything. DM me. Now, I'm going to say on the flip side, that could hurt you because my mom's not going to do that stuff, right? So she's going to be one of those in-person contacts. She's going to be word of mouth, either by someone recommending or seeing something. And if they say, oh, well, there's no number to call, you have to DM them on Instagram, she's never going to do it.
Never going to do it.
You got to have ways, all the ways of people contacting, and you have to respond.
And that's why it's important also to like not just be on Instagram, right? Like Facebook is going to be a different age group, right? Like maybe
My mom's on Facebook all the time.
Exactly. An older demographic. What do they say? Facebook just recently turned 20, I think.
Oh, wow.
I think 20 years old is when Zuckerberg started Facebook was 20 years ago. So yes, that makes sense, right? Our parents have had 20 years to go on Facebook. Instagram's a little younger. TikTok is even younger. And that's why you've got to be on, you at least have to be on both.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
It's free. Be on all of them. It's free.
It's free. People will say all the time, look, word of mouth also is free, but you still have to put the time in, and you have to keep your nails up. They have to look, every time you go out, you want somebody to make a comment. You want to be able to like interact with them and say, hey, check out my Instagram page. You can see my work. Like,
But that right there, most people will ask you for your Instagram page.
they're not asking for your number.
Can I have your number? Can I get my, all my information, usually it should be on Instagram. So your number, your business number, all that should be on Instagram. And it's so much easier just to give people that, and they can see your work and get all the info that they need. Again, I don't recommend just having DMs on your Instagram, because that's not something my mom's going to do. You know, she's going to, be one of that. You're going to need to give her a phone number.
Sure.
But a lot of times that's the first thing, go out with Melissa all the time, and people are like, do you do nails? I'm like, I don't do nails. She does. And they're like, can I have your Instagram?
Can you just humor me real quick on this, okay?
Are we role playing?
Not role playing, but I want to just walk you through this like example.
Okay.
Okay. And you tell me if somebody does this, if somebody's starting on their journey and they are dedicated, I'm going to make sure my nails there will not be a day that goes by where they look, not just attention grabbing.
Yeah.
With color, I'm going to spend the time to upkeep my nails 365 days, the next 365 days. On top of that, I'm going to build out my portfolio on Instagram and take a picture of either its education or all the nail looks that I'm doing. I'm going to take a shot of everyone or friends that I do, family that I do. And I'm going to have, let's say you build a portfolio of 100 looks, you know? Mm-hmm. How could you not build a clientele? If you're going out every single time mm-hmm. and your nails are looking just unbelievable, dude, people are going, like you just said, it mostly gets asked all the time. They're going to ask you. And if you give them your Instagram and they go to your page and it is like your nails are on there and there's like 100 different finished looks, colors, options, some education, stories about you where they can get a feel for your personality. All your information is in the profile where they can get in contact, book an appointment, DM, phone number, text. How are you not going to build a clientele?
You are.
You are.
And what I love that Melissa does, she takes the time. Every person that asks, she'll pull out your phone. She pulls up her name for them and she pushes follow.
She follows them.
No, she follows herself.
She follows through them
on their phone. They give them the phone and she'll follow them back. She'll like, oh, okay, I see you and follow you. But she doesn't just give them the IG. She goes through the process because sometimes you know, especially if it's a waitress or whatever, that they're too busy at that time. So she's just like, oh, let me see your phone. And she just does it real quick.
Yeah. Here it is. Boom. Now you're following me. You can unfollow. I mean, obviously they can just walk away and unfollow if they want, but you're now following now.
Yeah. And let's say they forget and they're scrolling on their phone. All of a sudden,
it's going to pop up.
Your nails pop up and they're like, oh yeah, I remember. I loved her nails. It just, nowadays you can't get away from it. It goes hand in hand.
It goes hand in hand. But you've got to have both. Mm-hmm. I'm just imagining, if I had a salon and if I could wear nails every day, okay, and this was my business, this is what I would do, Tracey. Yeah. I would be so hardcore and disciplined about it and not let a day go by. And make sure my Instagram page is just all different. I would even be thinking, what are some other looks, colors that I can show? My color combinations. What are some cool? You know what I'm saying?
Just got these colors in. I'm just swatching them out on myself. Whatever. I will tell you, I get it, because especially when you start building a clientele, the last thing you want to do is your own nails.
Of course.
And you're hitting them with your file, and it does require, it's not just like getting your nails done.
Of course.
You're constantly having to, like, oh, I've hit that thumb like 7,000 times today and it's all crooked. Now I need to bring it back in. You have to make a commitment, and you just have to say, this is part of my job.
Correct.
Because if you just go, oh, I will wait until I want to do it, probably
impossible.
Not gonna, no.
It's not going to happen. No. I mean, that's what we had to do when we were first making content. It was like, oh, I got to run a company. I don't have time to film. Like, what am I doing? I mean, how many people think it's a waste of time? I have to run a company. Why should I film nail demos? But if I thought that way, it never would have gotten done.
I have had to make the commitment to my own nails here.
Right.
Recently, because it's one of those things that let's film, and I look down and I go, oh, but my nails, and then I'd have to do my nails. So now I'm trying to make that commitment to once a week. They don't need to be filled, but reshape them, retop coat them, just to make sure that they're ready. And sometimes it is a pain in the butt.
For sure.
I don't want to do it.
No, I mean, of course. Yeah. It is work.
Yeah.
But if you're in a phase of, I have to build a clientele, I don't see any choice in the matter. Nope. You have to force yourself.
Well, and if you're in that mode, if you're building a clientele, you're probably maybe fairly new to nails, unless you've moved or something.
Correct.
You need to practice anyway. And nobody is better to practice on than yourself, because you know pressure, you know what hurts, what doesn't hurt, where to put. You get a really good understanding. It's like people that are afraid of electric files, right? The first thing I say is you got to start using it on yourself. You'll figure it out real quick that it doesn't hurt.
Right.
And then you'll be more confident in using it.
Yeah, exactly. there's just nothing. It again, just to, like coming all the way back. It is not. It's not. I know we titled this a versus. It really is not a this
either
versus
or.
that. It's not. Like you said, you can do either one of these. It's just going to take you a lot longer.
And why?
Why? Like, do the combination. Be consistent with it. Put out the information at the minimum. I mean, I can't stress this enough when it comes to Instagram, your profile pages, just having stories of who is behind the brand.
Yep.
Makes all the difference. Every time I go to an Instagram profile and I'm interested in a product or something, I want to see who's behind the thing. I want to see stories and like just interesting, the culture of the company. I want to understand the personality. Exactly.
The company. Because sometimes the personality is what sways you
for sure
to take that leap. Like, wow, I just really like their style. I like how they talk. They sing very nice.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to give them a try.
And at base minimum, you could you can do voiceovers to start. You know what I mean? Like, you can do voiceovers to start, get warm, practice it. But again, it's not one or the other. It's a combination.
Yeah. And you will never get used to it unless you do it.
That's exactly right.